Imagine you step on a nail. The signal fires in under a second. A sharp, urgent message screaming up your spine to your brain. Stop. Protect yourself. You're being damaged. Pain is the oldest alarm system life ever invented. And for almost every creature on Earth, it's non-negotiable. Almost. Because scattered across the animal kingdom are creatures that simply do not feel pain the way you do, and in some cases don't feel it at all, and the reasons why are going to change the way you think about your own body. Let's start with the strangest mammal alive, the naked mole rat. It looks like a tiny, wrinkled, nearly blind sausage with teeth. It lives underground in colonies, barely moves, and has a lifespan that defies every rule of biology for its size. But here's the thing that made scientists actually stop and stare. When researchers applied acid to its skin, the mole rat showed almost no pain response. None. And that is not supposed to be possible for a mammal. To understand why this is so strange, you need to understand how pain actually works. Your body has specialized nerve cells called nociceptors, pain detectors. When something dangerous happens, heat, pressure, acid, a cut, these cells fire a chemical signal. That signal rides up your nervous system and arrives in your brain as what we call pain. It is not just an unpleasant feeling, it is a survival tool honed over hundreds of millions of years of evolution. Without it, you would not pull your hand from a flame. You would not know you were dying from the inside. So why doesn't it work in naked mole rats? Scientists discovered something remarkable in their nerve cells. Mole rats have nociceptors. They have the hardware, but one specific type of pain receptor, called substance P, the chemical that normally amplifies and broadcasts pain signals, is essentially absent from their sensory neurons. The alarm system is wired in, but the loudspeaker was never installed. And researchers think they know exactly why evolution switched it off. Naked mole rats live in incredibly crowded, poorly ventilated underground tunnels. Carbon dioxide builds up to levels that would give you a splitting headache, or worse. When CO2 mixes with moisture in your body, it forms a weak acid. In normal mammals, that acid activates pain receptors constantly. For a mole rat, that would mean living in perpetual agony. So over millions of years, evolution made a trade. Lose the acid pain response, survive the tunnel. Pain wasn't protecting them anymore. It was just hurting them. But mole rats are just the beginning. Out in the desert, there's a mouse, the grasshopper mouse, that hunts scorpions for dinner. Real scorpions, the kind that sting. And when one stings this mouse, something bizarre happens. The mouse barely flinches. It licks the wound like you'd rub a mild bruise, then goes right back to eating the scorpion. Scientists studied its pain receptors and found something fascinating. The scorpion's own venom, which causes burning pain in most mammals, actually blocks pain signals in the grasshopper mouse. The very weapon the scorpion evolved to defend itself with has been hijacked and turned into an anesthetic. Think about what that means for a moment. The scorpion spent millions of years evolving a toxin specifically designed to cause pain, to make predators back off. And one small mouse evolved to feel that exact toxin as the opposite of pain. The predator turned the prey's only defense into its own advantage. Evolution does not play fair. It plays endlessly, and it is relentless. But here's the question that should be needling you right now. If some animals can lose pain entirely, or flip it like a switch, what does that mean for us? Let's go deeper, literally. In the ocean, there are creatures so anatomically different from us that the question of whether they feel pain at all becomes genuinely philosophical. Certain sea slugs and other invertebrates have what's called nociception. They detect damage and react to it, but they may have no brain structure capable of turning that detection into the experience of pain. They respond to harm without suffering from it. The reflex is there, the feeling may not be, and that distinction between detecting damage and actually hurting is one of the most important lines in all of neuroscience. This question matters enormously. For decades, we assumed fish, lobsters, and crabs couldn't really feel pain. They lack the neocortex, the brain region where human conscious pain is processed. But more recent research complicated that story. Fish show behavioral changes after injury that look a lot like pain responses. Zebrafish given pain relief drugs after being harmed return to normal behavior faster. The truth is, we genuinely don't know where the line is, and that uncertainty should make us uncomfortable in ways we haven't fully faced yet. Then there are animals where pain seems functionally suppressed in specific situations. Sharks, for instance, have been documented continuing to hunt and feed even with serious injuries that would render a human immobile. This isn't because sharks are superheroes. It's because under intense predatory focus, their nervous systems seem to effectively sideline pain signals. Adrenaline and stress hormones can do the same in humans. Soldiers have reported finishing a firefight without realizing they'd been shot. The brain, when it decides survival demands it, can turn down the volume on pain almost completely. That phenomenon has a name: stress-induced analgesia, and it's one of the most profound things your own body can do. In extreme moments, a car crash, a violent attack, an athletic injury during competition, your brain floods itself with endorphins, your body's own painkillers. These are chemically similar to opioids. They bind to the same receptors, and in those moments the brain essentially says, "This information is not useful to you right now. We'll deal with it later." It's a feature, not a bug. But some animals seem to live in a version of that state permanently. Marine mammals like seals and dolphins have extraordinarily high levels of endorphin-related compounds compared to land mammals. This may partly explain how they endure the physical stress of deep dives, freezing water, and the pressures of deep ocean depths without apparent distress. Their nervous systems seem tuned for a world where pain would more often be a distraction than a guide. Evolution keeps coming back to the same trick, not eliminating pain exactly, but calibrating it for the specific world the animal actually lives in. Now here's the mid-video twist that reframes everything we've discussed so far. We've been treating pain as something evolution removes when it becomes inconvenient. But the real story is more unsettling. Some animals don't feel pain, not because they evolved to lose it, but because they never fully evolved the machinery to suffer. Pain, as you experience it, isn't just a signal. It requires a brain capable of caring about that signal. And the evidence suggests that kind of brain, one that transforms a nociceptive alarm into genuine subjective suffering, is relatively rare in the animal kingdom. Neuroscientist researchers studying consciousness have begun arguing that what separates animals that suffer from those that merely respond might come down to a specific type of brain architecture, one that allows for self-referential awareness. To truly hurt, you may need a brain that can model itself as the thing that is hurting, a brain that doesn't just register damage here, but also thinks, "This is happening to me, and it is bad." Most animals may be running on much simpler hardware than that, which raises a question that should genuinely unsettle you. What would happen to a human born without pain? It sounds like a superpower, but there's a rare genetic condition called congenital insensitivity to pain, CIP. People born with it feel absolutely nothing painful. No burning, no aching, no sharp edges, and almost universally, their lives are defined by serious, ongoing medical crises. Children with CIP chew through their tongues because they can't feel it. They break bones and keep walking on them, turning hairline fractures into compound breaks. They damage their joints so severely that many are wheelchair-bound by adulthood. Pain, it turns out, is not the enemy. It's the most loyal guardian you have. Every person with CIP is a living, unintentional experiment in what happens when the alarm system goes silent. And the result is almost always the same. The body destroys itself in slow motion. Because pain isn't just telling you to stop, it's regulating how you move, how you hold your body, how hard you push yourself. It's a constant, mostly unconscious conversation between your body and your brain. Remove it, and the conversation goes dead. The body has no idea what it's doing to itself. So here's what makes the naked mole rat situation so extraordinary again. It didn't lose all pain sensation. It lost specific, contextually useless pain, while keeping other warning signals intact. It can still feel some forms of harm. Evolution is surgical. It doesn't sledgehammer the whole system. It tunes it, adjusts it, removes what costs more than it protects. The mole rat is not reckless. It's precisely calibrated for its environment. And that's the real lesson these animals are teaching us. Which is exactly why pharmaceutical companies and pain researchers are obsessed with these animals. The naked mole rat's acid pain block, the grasshopper mouse's venom reversal, the shark's stress analgesia. Each of these is a biological key. If we can understand precisely which molecular switches evolution turned off or adjusted, we might be able to build targeted painkillers that work on specific types of pain without the addiction risk, without the cognitive fog, without the side effects of broad opioid painkillers that currently kill tens of thousands of people every year. And there are more animals in this story. The blister beetle produces a chemical called cantharidin that causes intense burning in most mammals, but the beetle itself seems entirely unbothered by its own compound. Several insects appear to have nociception without the suffering component entirely. Spiders have been observed losing limbs and continuing to hunt without apparent behavioral disruption. Not because they're tough, but because the neurological experience we associate with agony may simply not exist in a brain that small and that differently structured. And yet, and this is what keeps scientists genuinely uncertain, spiders do show avoidance behavior after injury. They protect wounded limbs. They make decisions that look like they're based on discomfort. Are they feeling something? Something alien to us? Something we don't have the concepts to name? Or are they just running a very good pain avoidance algorithm with no inner experience attached? We honestly don't know. And the fact that we don't know should make you look at every living thing around you a little differently. Octopuses add another layer of strangeness. They have a distributed nervous system. 2/3 of their neurons are in their arms, not their brain. When an octopus arm is injured, it reacts locally, pulling away, even if severed from the body. So where is the pain? In the arm? In the brain? In the conversation between them? Their experience of harm, if there is an experience at all, may be nothing like anything we can picture. Pain in an octopus, if it exists, might be 8 separate things happening at once, barely coordinated, nothing like the unified suffering a human feels. Let's come back to the large and familiar. Elephants are known to show complex responses to injury and death. They grieve, they return to the bones of lost relatives. They clearly have the brain architecture for rich inner experience. And when injured, they show clear, prolonged pain behavior. But here's the thing. Elephants in the wild have been observed walking on severely fractured limbs for days, seemingly driven by herd behavior and fear. Their pain doesn't stop them the way ours would stop us. Whether that's neurological suppression, social drive, or something else, we don't fully know. What all of this circles back to is something deeply personal. Pain is not a universal constant across life on Earth. It is a spectrum, a continuum, shaped by millions of years of different survival pressures in different environments. Some creatures were shaped by evolution into worlds where pain would only get in the way. Some were shaped into bodies where the concept of suffering may not exist at all. And a few rare humans are born into a world where pain simply never arrives and suffer enormously because of it. There is a strange gratitude in understanding this. Every throb, every ache, every sharp intake of breath when you bang your knee, that is hundreds of millions of years of evolution running exactly as designed. Your pain is not a malfunction. It is a message from every ancestor who lived long enough to pass their genes on. The animals that feel no pain are not lucky. They are adapted. And adaptation is not the same as advantage. It is always a trade, always a balance, always a bet that this particular world will stay the way it is. So here is the payoff. The animals that feel no pain didn't stumble into a paradise. They evolved into a precise ecological niche where the cost of pain outweighed its benefit. The grasshopper mouse, the naked mole rat, the stress analgesia of the shark, the distributed strangeness of the octopus, each one is a different answer to the same evolutionary question. What is this sensation actually worth in the world I live in? And every answer is different, because every world is different. Pain is not the opposite of strength. In biology, pain is information, and information is everything. And here is the question I want to leave you with tonight. If scientists succeed, If they crack the molecular code that lets the naked mole rat block acid pain, or reverse the grasshopper mouse's venom trick and they build a drug that turns off your pain precisely, on demand with no side effects, would you take it? Would you want to live without pain? Because after everything you now know, I'm not sure the answer is as obvious as it seemed at the start.